श्रीमान् वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि श्रीवासरंगपरकालमुनित्रयाप्तलक्ष्मात्मरक्षणयतिद्योगागमान्तम् आचार्यभक्तिपरिपूतमार्गशीलं गोपालदेशिकमुनिं गुरुमाश्रयामः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे सुखतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम। So it's our Parama Bhagyam to go through the wonderful commentaries of our Purvacharyas, our Acharyas. From Ramanuja Sampradayam, from Adi Shankara, Shankara Bhagavad Padal Sampradayam, from the Dvaita Sampradayam, we have the commentaries. And Adiyan is only trying to reproduce what the Acharyas have said in the language which is somewhat better understood by us. So we completed up to 13 slokams of the 8th chapter last week. The 8th chapter is Akshara Brahma Yogam. There are 3 devotees, Krishna says. One category who seeks material wealth and mundane pleasures. That's like us, who wants Aishwaryam, Sukham, Bhogyam, progenies, children, well-being, wealth, all that. The other category of devotees who wants to visualize their Atma. Who am I? What is the Atma? They would like to see. That's called Jivatma Sakshatkara, visualizing the Jivatma. It's also called Kaivalya in Sanskrit. Kaivalya. And then the third category, who does not want even that, they want beyond that they would like only the communion with the Lord Sriman Narayana in Sri Vaikuntham and enjoy the bliss. Paramaikanti, they do not want anything other than him. For that, to attain him, he is the means. For all 3 categories, he is the means. He is the way. But the goal is different from the other 2 categories. For the third category of devotees, he himself is the means, he himself is the end. And that's what we have been seeing. So, the 14th sloka, which we saw, Ananya Chetaha Satatam Yo Mam Smarati Nityashaha Tasyaham Sulabha Partha Nitya Yuktasya Yoginaha. So, Ananya Cheta, in this verse, the jnani, how he meditates on the Lord, and the mode of attainment by him is talked about. How he meditates. So Ananya Chetaha, he who, due to his overwhelming love for me, overwhelming adoration, preeti, kadal, devotion for me, he is not able to sustain himself without seeing me, even for a moment without remembering me. It's called Parabhakti, Parajnanam, Paramabhakti, Ramanuja says. And his mind not drawn, attracted, pulled by anything else. Only him. And he holds me exceedingly dear to him. He wants only to be united with me. Daily, always, uninterruptedly meditates on me. Such a person will attains me, and not like any other person. He is so dear to me. So Ananya Chetaha, one whose mind is not attracted by any other object. Satatam, all times. Nityashaha, ever without a break. Nitya Yuktasya, to him who wants to be always united with me, unison with me, communion with me. It's like a girl who is already engaged to a person. I've always said this. He is living in the US. He has applied for her visa. She is waiting. Maybe it will take few months, 6 months, maybe. And she talks to him, she receives a message, she sees video, she thinks of him, she is longing to be with him, she enjoys the little companion, little moments she had spent with him during the engagement. She longing to go out of this parental cycle, home, relations, and to reach, attain him. He is the only love for her now, and hopefully after also. That situation is by the person, this person. Aham Sulabaha. I myself become the object of attainment, Krishna says here. And then he says in the 15th sloka, Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramam gataha. Mamupetya, those who have reached me, do not get rebirth, which is the very repository, abode, residence of sorrows. Dukkhalayam. It is a dukkhalayam. It is the residence of sorrows, this samsaric world. So those who have reached me will not get rebirth. They will not go to the very abode of sorrows. They will come to the place which is completely permanent, because they are exalted devotees, exalted souls. They are of great mind. They know my reality. They know my supremacy. They know me, who is their master, who is their Atma, Antaratma, who is their love. Due to their limitless love, unbounded love for me, they cannot bear any separation from me for a moment also. With their minds focused exclusively on me, worshipping me alone. Tasyaham sulabha part napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramam gataha. With their minds focused exclusively on me, worshipping me, they have reached me, the supreme goal, says Bhagavan. So the chapter from here explains the jnani and the kaivalyarthi, the one who visualizes the jivatma. They will not return back to the samsaric world anymore. Whereas the aishwaryarthi, the devotee who wants wealth, he returns back to samsara. The one who prays to Lord Srimanarayana and seeks wealth, seeks promotion, seeks well-being, health, whatever, when he passes away, departs this body, he comes back to the world, maybe in a better world, maybe as a better birth, maybe with more devotion, asking him only. But he will come back to the samsara sagaram again in the next birth. Whereas the person who wants only him, or the person who visualizes the jivatma, would not come back. Even the one who visualizes the jivatma would ultimately realize that even that jivatma is eternally subservient to Sriman Narayana, and then aspire for Sriman Narayana only. So it is a dukkhalayam, a resort of all kinds of sorrows. We may think that it is enjoyment. I enjoy. I have no problem. I have a car, I have a condo, I have a credit card, I have a good job. What's the problem? I'm enjoying. Nice family, I'm healthy. But a fraction of a second, things can go down south. A fraction of a second, you may become unhealthy. We never know. Minnin nilayila mannuyir akkaigal ennumidathu irai onnumin neere, Nammalvar says. Minnin nilayila, like a lightning, this body will drop off. Ennumidathu, because of that, irai onnumin neere, think of the Lord, Nammalvar says. So, ashashvatam, it is impermanent, this samsaric world. So, no more birth and death once they attain me. And then in the next slokam, he says, Abrahma bhuvana lokaha, Abrahma bhuvana lokaha, punaravartino arjuna, mamupetya tu kaunteya, Punarjanmana vidyate. Wonderful slokam. Here he says, the next verse, that is this slokam, he says, the reason why the aspirants of Aishwarya, the first category of devotees, the one who wants Aishwarya, the one who wants well-being for the son, for the children, for the wife, for just mundane pleasures, anything other than him. We look for several things, we ask for several things. One who aspires for Aishwarya, the wealth, will return to the samsara. They get reborn again and again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Why those who have reached Bhagavan do not return? They have no birth. Here he says, Abrahma bhuvanan lokaha. All the worlds situated in the prapancham, in the cosmic sphere, all the ulagam, brahmanda, like this world, like this earth, like this Milky Way, like this galaxy, there are several galaxies. Even NASA has found out that ours is not the only universe. There could be several. So, write all the worlds in this cosmic world, cosmic sphere, including the world of Brahma, Satya Loka. They hold enjoyment. They are all part of this Bhagavan's divine sport, Leela Vibhuti. They all want Aishwarya, but they are liable to be destroyed at one point of time. That is during Pralayam, that is during cosmic dissolution. So hence, those who reach those worlds will have to be reborn. Those who, even when somebody reaches the Brahmalokam, he has to be reborn. When a house is destroyed without a trace, when the house is destroyed even without a mark of a brick, are the residents safe? No way. So, my abode, Sri Vaikuntham, is eternal. That's called Nitya Vibhuti. At no time, whatever, one cannot perish. One will not come back. So, I am the omniscient, Sarvajnan, Sarvashaktan. My resolve is always true. Satya Kaman, Satya Sankalpan. When he takes a pledge to take us to his abode, he will not go back on his words. That's why he is Achyuta. Creation of the entire universe, its sustenance, its dissolution, Srishti, Sthiti, Pralayam. All that Krishna does for his sport, his Leela, to give us an opportunity. I am supremely compassionate, Dayalu, Paramakaruniko Bhagavan, he is. And he is immutable. Hence, for those, Krishna says, for those who have attained me, there is no possibility of comeback, no destruction. They have no birth. That's why Periyalva says, Pranay kodukilum poga vattare. Periyalva says, Pranay kodukilum poga vattare. Once a Jivatma attains Sri Vaikuntham, if somebody says from here, Devendra or Chaturmukha Brahma or whoever, I will give you $1 billion, $100 billion. Krishna, you give him back. Or we ourselves ask him, I will come back, but I just want to go back again, be born again. He will not let us go. Because once you reach there, no comeback. Nacha punaravartate, nacha punaravartate. Upanishad says, no return, a point of no return. That's why Periyalvar also says, Yeni koduttu yeni vangi. So beautifully he says, the Lord will place the ladder from the earth for us to climb. And once we reach Sri Vaikuntham, he will remove the ladder so that you will not climb down. So beautifully here he mentions that. The next 3 verses, 17, 18, 19, he says, describe the time arrangement for the creation and the dissolution of the 14 worlds, including the Satya Loka, the Brahma Loka, and all entities situated within that. And he talks about that. So, the Pralayam, here he talks about the Pralayam. So, this Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam देहारात्रविदो जनाः अव्यक्तात्यक्तयः सर्वाः प्रभवन्त्यः रागमे रात्र्यागमे प्रलीयन्ते तत्रैवाव्यक्तसञ्चये भूतग्रामसयेवायं भूत्वा प्रलीयते रात्र्यागमे वशः पार्थ प्रभवत्यः रागमे. Here he says, so beautifully he mentions that the great people who know the duration of the day and night of all the beings from man to Brahma understand that one day of Brahma comprises 1000 Chaturyuga. 1000 Chaturyuga. So one Chaturyuga means 4.32 million years. 43,200,000 years, our years, human years. One Chaturyuga means Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, Krita Yuga, Kali Yuga. Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. 2 times that is Dwapara Yuga. 2 times Kali Yuga. 864,000 years. Dwa. Then Treta Yuga, 3. 1.296 million years. Treta Yuga. Krita Yuga, 4 times Kali Yuga. 1.728 million years. Total 4.32 million years. Human years. That is one Chaturyuga. Similarly, 1000 Chaturyuga represents one day for Brahma. One day. Another 1000 Chaturyuga, one night Brahma. So 2000 Chaturyuga is one day and night for him. 24 hours for him. 24 hours of Brahma time. 30 such Brahma times become 1 month. And 12 such Brahma months make 1 Samvatsara for him. So Brahma will live for 100 of his years. So horrible, tremendous, humongous to think of. And that is called Param. So half of it is Parardham. That is why we say during our Tarpanam, Dvitiya Pararthe, we are in the second half of Brahma's Yugam, 50. Second half of Brahma, 100 years. That is Dvitiya Pararthe in Sankalpam. So Krishna goes to explain all these things. There are 4 kinds of pralayam, cosmic dissolution. In the 16th slokam, it says 4 kinds of pralayam. And that is why here he says Nitya pralayam. Every moment it takes when the atoms that compose the various forms in the universe unite and disperse, Nitya pralayam. Adyantika pralayam, when a jiva attains mukti, liberation, and enters no more the samsara, that is Nitya pralayam, Adyantika pralayam. Then Naimittika pralayam, when the solar systems are disintegrated into the primitive element at the end of Brahma Kalpam, known as the day of Brahma, one day of Brahma. When the Bhulokam, Bhuvalokam, Suvalokam, Bhurbhuva Swaha, the 3 lokams get destroyed. Then Prakrita Pralayam or Maha Pralayam, that is affecting the entire universe, the 14 worlds. The entire universe dissolves into an unmanifested, undifferentiated, including Chaturmukha Brahma, everyone, in which the guna, sattva, rajas gunas go into the equilibrium. It takes place at the end of the life of Brahma, end of the life of 100 years of Brahma, known as Mahapralaya. And that is when the Lord becomes a baby and takes the entire universe, including all worlds and all jivatmas, in a sukshma form, in a fine form, into his body. Alama maratti nilai mel oru balaganai ஞானமேழும் undan. So he is the one who retains everything after the pralayam to bring back. He brings us out with everyone. Nobody gets affected. he brings us out. So beautifully he mentions here about the dissolution, about the pralayam, everything. And then he talks about in the 22nd slokam, Purushassa parapartha bhaktya labhyastvananyaya yasyantastani bhutani yena sarvamitam tatam. Purushas, all the worlds, all the worlds reside in Bhagavan. Purushassa parapartha. Bhagavan pervades everywhere, manifests everywhere. Only through bhakti, only through love, devotion, which does not admit any other benefit, with no other fruit other than him, practiced for bhakti alone, with swayam prayojana bhakti. I'm not looking for anything. I just enjoy being bhakti. When you look at a baby's face, when a baby looks at you, you enjoy looking at the baby's smile. If somebody asks you, why are you so happy? Look at the baby, how beautifully it smiles at me, how it plays with me. So beautiful, so charming. Then somebody asks me, what benefit you get by watching that? There is no, the benefit is that enjoyment, that being, the very blissful enjoyment of the baby. That's what we are enjoying the Lord. Only through devotion which does not seek any other benefit. Practiced that alone and the Lord can be attained, says Krishna. And that jnani, the fruit of jnani, bhakta, endeavor, effort is Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan is much more exalted than all things discussed earlier. In the 7th chapter, the Lord himself said, there is nothing superior to me. I am the most exalted. Purushaha, one who resides in the lotus of the heart, Antaratma. That's why in Purusha Suktam, in the last line it says, Hrishchate Lakshmi Chapatnyao. The Purusha is none other than the divine consort of Lakshmi, Lakshmi Pati, Sriyapati. So the Supreme Person can be attained only through devotion, only through bhakti. The devotion has to be truly grand. It is with love. It cannot be just for what do I say? For kadan. Just kadanenu pannakuda. Not as a ritual, not as a routine, mundane, as a duty. It has to be with love. How do we love? Why do we love? What's the factor? We love something if it is bhogyam for us, if it is enjoyment for us, if it is so charming for us, handsome for us. Parama bhogyam. When we love something, it means it's appealing to us. It's attractive. What is attractive? That's why we recite all these things. Sahasranamam, Divya Prabandham, Stotrams, Bhagavad Gita, to hear about his gunams, his handsomeness, his beauty, his karunya, daya. There can be nobody who is more merciful than him. That he is like millions of mothers, fathers, children, spouse. He is such a darling. He is waiting for us to look at him. He would rush to take us. So the verses that follow now, 23 onward, talks about the way in which the exalted devotees reach. How will they reach? And that's what he talks about in this wonderful way. It's called Archiradi Margam. How the person who does not attain him, they go through Dhumadi Margam. Now he said, 23rd slokam, Yatra kale tvana vrittim avrittim chaiva yoginaha prayata ayantitam kalam vakshyami bharadarishaba. I will tell you about the path departing, how the Jivatma departs, in which they do not return. Also the path along with people of good deeds, devotion, they go. And those who are not devoted to me as much as a exalted devotee who want only Aishwaryam. Where do they go? How they return? So in this he talks about the Dhumadi Margam and Archiradi Margam. So Dhumadi Margam is the Margam through which they go and they will come back. They will go either to heaven or to hell, the soul, and they will take birth in again in some other body, depending on the punya or papa, depending on the karma vasanas, depending on the sankalpa of the Lord, they would come back. Whereas the person who does not seek anything or anyone else other than him, one who is devoted to him and him alone, one who does not want anything else, they reach through the Archiradi Margam. They go through the Archiradi Margam, and that's what he talks about in the next few slokams. And that is Shukla Krishne Gati Hyete Jagata Shashvate Mate Ekaya Yatyana Vrittim Anyaya Vartate Punaha Naite Shruti Partha Janan Yogi Muhyati Kaschana Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna Vedeshu Yajneshu Tapasuschaiva Dhaneshu Yad Punyapalam Pratishtam Atyeti Tat Sarvamidam Viditva Yogi Param Sthanam Upaiti Chatyam. Here he mentions about the verse. He mentions in the 27th verse, anyone who knows clearly the two paths, the Dhumadi Margam, the one who looks for Aishwaryam, the one who prays to him, or one who does not pray to him, other than one does not pray to him for moksha, will take the Margam, Dhumadi Margam, and come back. And one who is desirous of only the Lord and nothing else will go through the Archiradi Margam at the end of the birth, and when he attains moksha and does not return back. So here he says Shukla Margam, Shukla Krishne Gati Hyete. So how he goes and all is we don't have to worry. He takes us to his abode, and there are people who welcome us on the way. So the Dhumadi Margam, it goes through the smoke, the night, the dark forenight, the 6 months of southern sun, the Dakshinayanam, and reach the lunar light. Like that they go. So here he mentions that any devotee who clearly understands these two paths, said earlier, will not get confused or deluded anymore. Therefore, Arjuna, you think of me, meditate constantly on me, on the path of light, the Archiradi Margam, says Bhagavan. Like the worship of the Lord, meditation on the path is also important. It pleases the Lord. When you think of the way in which we will be taken by the Lord to his abode, he will be pleased. Oh, he is thinking of coming to me. So meditation on the Margam, on the path, has even said to be is part of Bhakti Yoga. So knowing the path will help one to follow without any confusion. For certain, for sure, he will take me. Maha Vishwasam will come. Unflinching, unconditional faith. So the idea is that the Jnani, knowing these two ways, two Margam, will not have any confusion at the time of departure. And then he talks in the last slokam, Vedeshu Yajneshu Tapasochaiva Dhaneshu Yat Punya Palam Pratishtam. Here, one who knows clearly the glories of the Lord, the Vaibhavam of the Lord, explained in this chapter and the previous chapter, reaches a higher plane, reaches a better understanding. He looks upon the rewards declared for such devotion, such as the study of Vedas, the actions, study of Vedas, performance of Tiruvaradhanam, worshipping, uttering Nama Sankirtanam, austerities, charities, study of scriptures, listening to the discourses, spending time fruitfully. Moreover, he becomes my darling devotee, a jnani, and attains the supreme primordial abode of mind, says Krishna. Vedeshu Yajneshu. Vedeshu, a due study of the Vedas or the Tamil Veda, the Divya Prabandham, will by itself remove our papams and will fulfill our desire to attain him. As declared in the Veda, yogi becoming a jnani, he becomes a jnani. Thus, he would attain me without any doubt, says Krishna. Dhanyosmi. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.